Welcome to the Virtual Ball Boys podcast. My name is Chris, and I am joined once again by my good friend, Matt. I do not hear you, Matt. Hello? Why? Now I just hear you laughing.
Hi, Chris.
What happened?
Nothing.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Oh, okay. I thought you dropped from the call.
No.
Okay. That was confusing.
Good.
Okay, great. Welcome everyone. That was that was some silence for you for to celebrate Thanksgiving, where sometimes you just wish you had silence on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
We're kind of just think about that those moments where you did not hear us talk, in terms of, you know, when you have your annoying, I don't know, in-laws tell you about how horrible the economy is over and over again. You know, it's not
just
great.
Constantly say the same thing, and as if that is the only thing that is currently worried about and also directly affects them. So
right. Yeah, it's just you know, it's a great time to get together with family on Thanksgiving. But yes, it is our Thanksgiving episode, and nothing really too special. I mean, usually we do like a little thankful thing, which I guess I could do on a whim, but figured, you know what? No, we are working hard on this Wednesday, and so we're going to keep on making teams for the VBBFL. So that's going to be our mid seg as per usual, and of course we will be picking those Thanksgiving games. Good slate this week of games, I would say, across the board, but we will see to that later in the show. But for now, let's talk about the week that was, week 11. I would say overall not the best week. It was fine. It did its job. There is no game, though, that was nearly as good as Chiefs at Chargers on Sunday Night Football. And you know what? Like, I feel like we don't even need to talk about this. It's another Chiefs-Chargers game, and yet is yet another game where the losing team goes up, like, with like a certain amount of time left on the clock, and then Patrick Mahomes drives down the field and gets a touchdown to win the game. Like, we've seen this story many times. We all knew it was going to happen the moment the Chargers scored, and it's just not. It is not in any way surprising at this point. Is there anything that you feel like you want to contribute or add for the Chiefs at Chargers game?
There's not much more to contribute. The Chiefs are very good at football, and the Chargers are unfortunately marred by injuries, and then other teams just being slightly better than them all the time. Pretty
much, yeah. That is where they are at. The Chargers are in their own personnel hell that they cannot get out of. Speaking of hell, the blowout of the week, it was a surprising one, but man, like it maybe is just one of the biggest blowouts that we've seen this year. The Dallas Cowboys at the Minnesota Vikings, where the Cowboys just took it to the Minnesota Vikings in a 40-3 blowout. Like, Jesus Christ.
The wild thing about this game is that the Vikings' point differential is currently -2. Which means before this game it was plus 35.
Yeah.
Which is a really good point differential. But this wasn't even prime time, and Kirk Cousins was still bad. It was insane. You and I both commented on this. For both of us, since we are neither of us are in the Minnesota or Dallas markets, they just cut to the Steelers and Bengals game.
Yeah,
because no one wanted to watch this shit.
It was in the middle of the third quarter they cut. Like, that is wild. Plus 35 is actually pretty mediocre, because like you look at like a Bills at 107, even the
Fair.
Patriots are at 44. Um, like I, I'm annoyed by this result, if I'm being honest, and I'm annoyed that I have backtracked off of my feelings about the Vikings because they played great and beat the Bills, right? But man, everything that you kind of that we've all been talking about, or not all of us, but when people have been kind of talking like, are the Vikings for real? This is exactly the scenario that played out in our heads at the time. It was like, okay, but when they face a really good team, what's gonna happen to them? And they just became a big old fucking purple pumpkin on Sunday, and it's just like, man, I mean, look, they're gonna win the division. They'll be fine. They'll make the playoffs, and then that's all that's gonna matter. But just this is the exact scenario that I was thinking that could have happened on against Buffalo the week before. It didn't happen. They did play well in that game. And then you had this game, which was just a complete and utter domination. And it hurt also that the Cowboys lost to the Packers the week before, which now in retrospect is just kind of like, wow, that is just one of those results that you probably in retrospect do not understand whatsoever. But yeah, that's just where we are at right now with the both of these teams. Both of these teams playing on Thanksgiving, though. We'll see how they play. I think both of them have an interesting setup for them this week that we'll see how it ends up playing out. Speaking of teams playing on Thanksgiving, our chaos of the week, I'm giving it to the Detroit Lions because there really wasn't that big of an upset this week to warrant anyone bitter. So the Lions get it because they took it down the Giants.
Because it's also their third straight win in a row.
And it's their third straight win in a row, baby. Man. I am so I'm happy for them, man. It's one of those situations where I think a lot of us after watching Hard Knocks were really wanting to see this team succeed, and the fact that the season has started the way it did, they were a little bit more competitive early in the season, and then it just started to really go downhill in October. The fact that it's now kind of turned around where the defense is playing so much better and their offensive pieces are working, like I really am hopeful the Lions can make a run here. It's gonna be difficult, I think, just because, but not so much that I think they can win a lot of games. But I think the struggle is because of the hole that they found themselves in. I don't know if they'll be able to climb out of it, and with the wild card race having teams like the Giants, who I'm not high on, but they have an easy enough schedule where they could, I think, get a few more wins to kind of secure their wild card spot. Where the Lions, I think, have a little bit more work to do,
I agree,
to get back into that conversation. But I don't know, man. They say the season doesn't start till Thanksgiving, so maybe this is just they're gonna peak at the right time, and maybe other teams will just flounder enough where the Lions could squeeze into the playoff picture. But
yeah,
we'll see. Any thoughts on this at all?
Not really on this one. Nice to see the Lions doing great. And I have Jamal Williams on my fantasy team, so that's like my called shot that I drafted him, not even picked him up off the waiver wire. I just feel really good.
He has the most touchdowns in the league.
Yeah,
which is wild.
It's insane.
He has basically completely taken over that job. DeAndre Swift is now like the third back on the roster,
which is crazy.
It's wild, but
let's go Jamal Williams.
It's working for them.
Yeah,
and so I am very, 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 very stoked to see them succeed the way they have. And again, with the Giants, it's just, this is kind of Giants and Vikings wear the same fucking hat, man. Of just like you have a great record, man. You just wish that it was like there was a little bit more there for them to like maybe feel like you can feel confident about them going into a playoff scenario. And now, that's just not where I'm at with the Giants. But there you go. Really, it was really like midweek, nothing else that I really felt like stood out. Granted,
But of course, you have the go fuck yourself game of the week, which is, of course, the Carolina Panthers versus the Baltimore Ravens, with only one offensive touchdown with Lamar Jackson. Neither team's really got their offense going, and it was really unfortunate to see like the Ravens' offense falter against this pretty bad Carolina defense. Well, they're not that bad, but just like injured and not like playing to their full potential, and they could have done a lot better.
It's funny. We got a double go fuck yourself.
We got a double go fuck yourself game of the week. With the New York Jets versus the New England Patriots, where they didn't even get an offensive touchdown. It was a kick return touchdown.
Yeah.
Which, after the game, Zach Wilson refused to take any accountability for his poor offensive play, to which led him to get benched for this upcoming game.
Yes.
Because he's a blowhard and a bad quarterback.
Which, yeah, like we're recording this the day that we're going to end up posting this as well. But if we recorded at our usual time, we would not know for sure if Zach Wilson was going to be benched. So I'm kind of happy that we now at least have that information. Yeah, man, God, that whole Jets situation is wild.
Yeah.
And I think that they made the right choice. I know that there's people who feel like, oh, you need to just kind of hold out and let the rookie, or not rookie, but let the second year guy, continue to grow. But at the same time, this team has such a good defense this year, and it has some good players on offense that you don't want to waste this. If you're able to win, figure out a way to win. Focus on the health of the team, and if they feel like if the locker room, because this was the big conversation point, like if the locker room is getting irritated by Zach Wilson at this point, which is actually the words of Robert Saleh, I think that it is completely fair to just be like, I want to see someone else at this position for a bit, and that's totally valid and fine in this scenario.
And you know what? I'm unironically a huge Mike White, a quarterback fan.
Sure,
I love Mike White.
I this is very surprising news for me, but hey, I respect it. I mean, what about him do you like? Though?
He shares the name of one of my favorite Survivor players.
Okay, all right, there you go. Fair enough. That's that. All right, it went from wow, that's so surprising, and like, oh wait, no, that is not at all surprising at all. It all makes sense. But yeah, I think that the decision is going to help the Jets moving forward. And going back to the Ravens-Panthers game, I definitely, as someone who has the Ravens as his AFC pick, definitely a bummer to see them not play super great. But I'll wait to see if this happens like a second week in a row. Of course, like this is they're just coming off of their bye. Sometimes that can cause some weirdness. But yeah, that's something to keep an eye on for sure. But yeah, there you go. I think that covers it. And the Colts almost beat the Eagles, which was fucking weird. But
yeah,
God, what an enigma the Colts are at this point. All right, let's go to the VBBFL. Let's go pick our next team. Matt, a recap of our only team that we have thus far.
Yes, we have the Woonsocket Fiber Foxes, Woonsocket, Rhode Island. We'll see how long we stick to this, but I believe our plan right now is to kind of base our teams off of wildlife of the area combined with some sort of material or historical aspect of this region as well.
Yes, that is
Currently, Rhode Island is our city, and the only in addition to all of the states that we have had previously, the only eliminated state has been Massachusetts.
Right. We are trying to hit newer states.
Yep.
First
and
foremost.
to recap for anyone who is new, our season 1 teams were in California, Montana, Texas, Minnesota, Indiana, Alabama, Connecticut, and New Jersey. And then our season 2 teams were New Hampshire, New York, Virginia, Florida, Wisconsin, South Dakota, Utah, and Alaska.
And Matt, I wanted to avoid it. I wanted to kind of not go down this road. But we're going to Ohio.
Not Ohio.
And I don't know why. I don't know
Not
why
Ohio.
I'm to Ohio. I'm being rude about that.
All offense to Ohio. People from
offense.
Ohio get it.
But we're going to go to Euclid, Ohio.
Okay, you're going to have to spell that.
Euclid is spelled Euclid.
Euclid, okay.
Euclid, Ohio. It's
okay.
Weird mouthfeel, I will admit. But hey, this is what the town randomizer gave me when I did this yesterday. So, like...
Yeah. No, looks good. Looks just outside of Cleveland.
Yes, it's a northern... It's right on the... It's on some sort of lake, I think. It's on one of the Great Lakes.
Erie.
Lake Erie, there you go.
Some sort of lake.
I don't know. There's 5 lakes. I don't know where the fuck all of them are.
All right, so this will eliminate Michigan, Pennsylvania.
It's gotta be eliminate a lot.
West Virginia and Kentucky. Indiana has already been eliminated.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Indiana was in there. Okay, cool. All right, so let's learn about Euclid here. So
first off, named after Greek mathematician.
So
that's stuff we can do with that.
That is immediately like standout. That's a standout right there. Euclid of Alexandria, which let me see. Does he have like anything famous? He apparently, Euclid, was an ancient Greek mathematician. Mathematician.
Jesus Christ.
Active as a geometer and logician.
Okay.
But is considered the father of geometry.
All right, that's significant.
That is a significant start there.
Another very important thing that we need to consider. There's a lot for us to work with, Chris, because Euclid is also home to the National Cleveland Style Polka Hall of Fame.
Shut the fuck up! I'm in love with this. I'm already in love with this city.
The fact that it's called Cleveland Style Polka.
What is the difference between Cleveland style and any other style of polka?
So it seems to be the American style of polka with Slovenian roots. So like there's a lot of Slovenian immigrants in this area, and this is from a very like cursory Google search. I am learning this as I'm saying it.
That's fair.
But seems to be so like Slovenian immigrants with polka, but like more like American style. It absorbed jazz and country expressions into its polka.
Huh. That's cool. That's neat. I guess I was just very taken aback by the Cleveland style.
By the fact that it's called Cleveland style. It's also known as Slovenian style polka.
Yeah, see, that's not as funny.
Right,
that actually sounds neat compared to Cleveland style.
Calling it Cleveland style is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, they actually have a city flag. Interesting. I mean, I'm sure that's many
Most cities have flags.
Okay, all right. Well, at least this one stands out then. I'll say that it has like a little. It's blue, white, and yellow. It has a star in the middle. It looks neat. I like it. All right. So this is interesting. We have a math guy, geometry guy that they're named after, and it's home to some polka. But I think the biggest thing that I want to figure out, because now we have the material, we have the historical aspect, but we need the animal.
Yes.
So we need to figure out, like, does Euclid have a animal that they hold near and dear? Is there, like, I'm gonna look at the Euclid. They call themselves the Lakefront City.
Okay. Something aquatic.
So it could be that. They have. I was gonna say turkey, but I think that's just because it's Thanksgiving coming up.
Yeah.
It is Thanksgiving week, so that would make sense. Let's look up Euclid animals. I don't know if this is actually gonna lead to anything. Oh no, it's just a bunch of animal shelters. All right, that is not necessarily what I wanted. Let's see.
Northern Ohio wildlife.
That's maybe a good direction to go down.
All right, the three of the most common animals are squirrel, raccoon, and deer, which is most Midwestern states.
that just sounds like a very common
Yep.
thing. Trying to see. I'm trying to read up about their other notable attractions. See if there's anything else that may lean in a direction of like, oh, this is an animal that we could lead into.
Even that, if we don't go the animal route, we can figure some other shit out.
We absolutely could.
I think that like polka, we have to do polka related.
I agree. Yeah,
because you're not gonna get the National Cleveland style polka museum in any other city.
Wait, hold the fuck on. I just came up with something.
All right,
because it's polka, right? And granted, I don't know if these two things are related, but you just have to bear with me. And there's also geometry, right?
All right, I'll wait for you to finish before I cast judgment.
That's fine. And then you have geometry, right? So you have polka and geometry. Combine those together. The Euclid square dancers.
See, that's a different style of music, unfortunately.
God damn it! All right.
Yeah, sorry. I see the connection. I understand it. However, two different styles of music.
Fair enough.
That makes you think. That definitely makes you think more like cowboy country than polka.
Yeah, polka. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like polka is like I don't know. I'm thinking of the I there's just something about both that kind of reminds me of that they could blend together in some ways, but I understand what you're saying.
Cordless telephone was invented in Euclid.
the Euclid cell phone. I mean, what in the realm of polka? Like, is there other things that are related to polka in any ways? Like, what's an instrument that usually gets played with polka music?
Well, that's like
accordion,
like accordion, tuba, saxophone, clarinet. So the Slovenian style polka band always includes a piano accordion, chromatic accordion, or that's not important. It's accordion. They use sometimes they use keyboard. The other melody instrument is saxophone or clarinet, and the rhythm instruments include drum, bass, guitar, and guitar banjo, sometimes a trumpet. So no tuba. Tuba is more German polka, I suppose.
Interesting.
Should get Weird Al Yankovic to help us out.
Oh my god. The last year we had the rock squirrels, and I know that we said last week that we did our annual Hearted Animal, right? But
yeah.
Really, what we did with the rock squirrels was we made it actually like that. It was like a rock music squirrels with the mohawk and stuff, and that was incredible fucking logo, by the way.
Yes, probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, and so I feel like it would be great if we did want to do an animal and we just had it be like we had it like in the realm of it playing like a polka instrument. Like, I just think would be a very funny logo idea.
Right. The best thing is like getting Walsh to draw all of these. And I don't like. Did he listen to the last one? I thought he mentioned that he did.
Yes, he did. He said that he loved the Woonsocket Fiber Foxes.
Okay, cool. So Walsh, we're gonna make the hardest things possible for you to draw.
You know what I just fucking came up with in my head, and we do not need to go down this route. I was thinking of the instruments, and I'm thinking of animals, and I'm thinking of fucking, like, I just think about how they call themselves the Lakefront City, and I just thought of the Akkadians, like Akkad, C-O-D.
Akkadians?
I know that's terrible.
It's not bad. Like,
but that's just what came to mind just now.
It's one of those that, like, it's sadly one of those that you need to explain immediately after you say it.
Right, that's the thing. Like, it's not entirely clear.
Yeah,
I like the idea of word playing it though, and maybe if we find something else that maybe fits something in that realm, I would love that.
Yeah.
But that word in my head just hit me like a mat truck. Like...
So the state The state mammal of Ohio is the white-tailed deer.
Okay.
And polka deer sounds really fun.
The polka deer.
Polka deer.
I kind of like that. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't go as deep as I would have maybe wanted to do in terms of polka, but polka deer, yeah. Like because it sounds like polka dot almost.
Almost, yeah. Polka dot, polka deer.
Polka dot, polka deer.
Polka deer.
Polka deer.
One of the I'm starting to get to where it's like it doesn't sound like a real word with polka. The more that you say it.
Polka is just like it just sounds like No, I feel like I get to that point sometimes with some phrases, but I'm kind of into the idea of polka deer. I'm like
polka deer.
I'm warming up to it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless in the last second we can think of something that maybe just takes it up to another level. But polka deer, I think, kind of is a good representation of. It might be a little bit like basic in terms of the animals, but there's not really a whole lot to work off of here.
Right, and I feel like going this route, we will have to like rely on state birds and mammals and stuff.
Right. What is just out of curiosity? It doesn't have to work, but what is the state bird?
Bird is cardinal.
The
Cardinal. Which so many teams are named cardinals already. The reptile is the black racer snake, which is a bit of a mouthful. They do have a state frog, which is the bullfrogs.
Oh.
Polka frog.
Oh my god! I actually could see in my head whilst drawing a frog playing accordion or something.
Yeah.
Like that just seems like something that he would do, or there's up his alley of like silly art stuff. But I can't think of anything else. I think polka deer just
it's more fun to say.
It's more fun to say. It more fits, I think, maybe with the area as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I think we lock it in.
All right, polka deer it is. All right, colors. We already used white.
Yes. Yeah, that's a bummer.
I've been trying to think.
After whitetail.
I've been trying. You know what would actually be a really fun color combination that I've been thinking of, but maybe doesn't work with polka deer specifically, is yours and mine's current Discord server like name colors.
Like red and blue, red and light
like
blue.
Like the more like I don't know the purplish pinkish red plus the cyan. I think would look pretty interesting together. Maybe not good, but
no, I mean, I could see that. I could see that working.
Yeah.
I guess and we don't have to like stick with like what the actual animal is necessarily.
Right.
I mean, so here's the other idea. I'm with you. I would like to at some point do a red and cyan, but if we want to like. With Euclid, we could do like a dark blue and yellow because of their state color, flag colors.
And it would really piss off Ohioans because those are Michigan colors.
I mean, I think that would go in that direction then.
Let me see. We've had blue and yellow before, but that was a lighter blue.
Right. Like I feel like we could definitely change up. Like I feel like a darker blue, like a navy blue we're talking, and like yellow.
Yeah.
I
navy blue for sure. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Like it is straight up Michigan colors. And again,
right.
I'm in
as long as we don't call it maize, we're fine.
We do not know. We do not need to go down that rabbit hole.
Fuck you, Michigan. I'm kidding.
All right. So does that sound good to you? This color?
Yeah.
Then? Cool.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So then, we now have two teams: the Woonsocket Fiber Foxes and the Euclid Polka Deers. I love it.
It would just be polka deer. The plural of deer is deer.
Oh. Deer, I did. Yeah, I wrote S. I had S written down here for some reason.
Yep, polka deer.
Thank you for. Yeah, I don't know why I did that to myself. So while I sit at my spelling shame, let me tell you about our sponsors. Hi everyone, it's Chris, and I'm back once again to tell you all about Anchor. Anchor by Spotify has actually been the tool of choice for Team Chaos Productions since the moment we decided to get into podcasting. And the biggest reason for this is it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer or even your phone. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, but also Apple Podcasts and many more. And best of all, Anchor is free. You do not need to worry about any features being locked out to you. You can get it all if you just download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Happy podcasting.
Sick of talking about video games with people who just want to be toxic? Me too. So join us over at the Gaming Coop. We come together each month to talk about what we love about video games. Discussion topics range from our favorite soundtracks to the best relationships between characters. We also have some fun segments in which we play some trivia or build our school of gaming. Find us on Anchor or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Game on!
All right, we're back. Let's do it. It's time to pick some games, but let's recap where we're at right now.
Please.
Last week, we split the two games. We both went 9-5. Broncos let us down.
Fuck you, Broncos.
So we did not get our guarantee, and on top of that, both of our chaoses went awry. So, but regardless, we both went 9-5. We both got 3 points, and so the records as they stand right now is a 98-65 for me.
Nope.
For me.
No, for you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. With 32 points, you're sitting at 95-68 with 23 points.
Yeah, I need some big swings.
Yes. Well, I mean, you got time. I
do.
I know Thanksgiving feels like, oh shit, the season's ending, but we do still have like 7 weeks. Yeah.
6 or 7 weeks, yeah.
6 weeks. So, and real quick, because I made sure to actually spend the time to do this before the recording today, I have our updated team by team records of how we've been picking. Matt, take a guess. What is your best team right now?
Oh god, I have no fucking idea.
Just take a guess. I'll give you a hint. It's one of the good teams.
One of the good teams is I was doing good at the 49ers for a while. Am I still doing good?
You actually I think you've been better as of late with the 49ers, but they were one of your worst teams for a while.
Gotcha. I was misremembering that. Is it the Eagles?
Eagles are 8-2, but they're not your best team.
Still. I'll take one more guess. The Dolphins.
It is not the Dolphins. They're 6-4 for you. You are 9-1 picking the Kansas City Chiefs right now.
That is not surprising. The Chiefs are a good team.
They're a good team, but also I think you also just know when they're going to lose. And
right, like against the Bills.
The only time that you've gotten them wrong, I believe, is against when they faced the Colts, which I think everyone got wrong.
Everyone got that wrong. Yeah, I'll take that.
that. Your worst team is. I mean, you could guess this too if you'd like.
I have probably the Bears.
No, you're actually you're good. They're 5-6. The 3-7 is your record, and it's the Seattle Seahawks.
That is not surprising. I put way too much faith in that goddamn team.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think it's the fact that you did not have faith in the team, and that's why you're at the point where you're at with them.
Okay.
And then last week, the last game that they played, you did have faith in them, and then they lost to the Buccaneers. So it's just been unlucky in terms of when to believe and when not to believe in the Seattle Seahawks. For me, I actually have a 4-way tie at the top. I do not have a 9-1 record for any team, but I do have 8-2, and that is the Texans, Chargers, Rams, and Eagles for me. And my worst team right now is a 4-7 team. That is the Colts, which I've been having an issue with the Colts all season long, so that is not a surprise whatsoever. Obviously we'll go deeper into this maybe after the season, but that is just where we are at the moment. But for now, Matt, I believe it is your turn to start things off for our Pick'em.
All right, Thanksgiving game 1 on CBS. We have the Buffalo Bills versus the Detroit Lions. I don't know why my voice started doing that.
Happens.
Bills Bills, they managed to get a win against Cleveland, but have not felt like the juggernaut that we want them to be, versus the Lions, who are on a win streak. Is this win streak going to continue, Chris?
You know, the Bills are in this space right now. You and I have talked about it, where last year, all of a sudden, they just hit this snag of teams or of games where all of a sudden it's just kind of like they're kind of they're either kind of like just breaking through or they are losing outright, and it's just such a bummer. I do want to think that the Bills would bounce back in this game, but I'm not doing that. I'm not picking the Bills. I am team chaosing the Detroit Lions because I haven't done it all season long. Maybe the worst possible thing to do in this scenario is to pick the Lions against the Bills, but I just really love where this team is at. I feel like the Lions have done kind of well on Thanksgiving, but although granted, I don't know if their record's that great, but I feel like they always are at least competitive in these games. And I feel like this is just their opportunity to show up in a big spot and take down a big-time title team.
That would be fucking nuts. I'm going to stick with the Bills because the Bills are used to playing in Detroit now.
Right.
Because they played last game in Detroit.
It's so weird, though. I'm with you. Like okay, yeah, they played Detroit, but they still flew back to Buffalo.
That is strange.
Like, why did they just fucking
They could have stayed in Detroit.
Yeah, like, what are we doing? Like, just like you're a rich organization. I am sure that there is someone that could house you guys for at least a couple of days.
Yeah,
that was a bizarre one, but whatever. That's fine. The Detroit Lions are. We will see if they can do it. I believe in them. Team Chaos. Next up. You did pick
your turn.
All right. The New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. This is a fascinating matchup because as much as I have been hesitant about this Giants team, the Cowboys have been really rough on Thanksgiving as of late. So Matt, where do you think this game goes?
I think that Tony Pollard is the best player on the Cowboys, and Jerry Jones is a fucking idiot for not recognizing it.
That is you are on the money on that. It is very weird that he keeps on just insisting that Zeke is the best, and it's just like, okay, man, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Where are you at though? Are you picking the Cowboys?
Yeah, absolutely. And Tony Pollard is fucking amazing and on my dynasty team, so of course I want Tony Pollard to do better.
Yeah, no, Cowboys should win this game. They have laid eggs before. I'm just going to warn that maybe the Giants, who have been in a lot of games this year, maybe with the exception of last week, that they're going to be competitive. And
well, are you saying that you're high on the Giants, Chris?
I'm not, though. That's the thing. I feel like the Giants have been just so weird this year. Like, they're just been competitive when you don't expect them to be competitive. So I'm just saying it could happen again here. I am picking the Cowboys, though, because I still do believe heavily in this team, especially the defensive side of the ball. Next up,
Minnesota Vikings against the New England Patriots. This is a weird game because the Vikings just got blown out, and the Patriots won the game, but essentially got blown out, right? Like, couldn't do anything against the Jets defense.
Yeah.
But then the Vikings couldn't do anything against the Dallas defense. So I don't know what to
believe.
What do you believe?
I believe that the Vikings. I shouldn't fucking do this to myself. I'm gonna pick the Vikings again. Vikings have had a very difficult stretch of games. The fact that they did get the overtime win over the Bills is huge. And so dropping this game against the Cowboys could definitely not be the end of the world for them. And especially if they are in this game, they play the Patriots. The Patriots do have a good defense.
Ooh.
And
it's prime time.
It's prime. Oh yes, it is prime time. Kirk Cousins.
That talked me out of pick. I was picking the Vikings. I'm gonna pick the Patriots.
Oh yes, you did just convince me to pick the Patriots, huh? Fuck me. God, I did forget about that, huh? All right, yeah, I'm picking the Patriots. I am picking the Patriots. This is a hard one. This is a hard fucking game to pick, but I think that is the edge that the Patriots have in this one, is that Kirk Cousins.
I hate football that is a measurable thing that you have to take into account.
And you know what? We shouldn't. We really shouldn't.
We shouldn't, but we have to.
But with Kirk Cousins, he just, speaking of turning into a purple pumpkin, that is the spotlight's on him, and he absolutely does that. It's just so weird. It's so weird. Yeah, it's the Patriots. God damn it. Anyways, next up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Cleveland Starfish. The Buccaneers are they're getting back on track. They've now won 2 in a row, and they won against a good team last time. And now they faced a Cleveland team that just is. It's a bizarre team. It's a weird team. They're competitive, but then it's hard to really believe in them, and they just fall apart, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen?
Cleveland definitely plays better at home than they do away / neutral site games.
Sure.
With playing better at against the Bills at Detroit than they would have in Buffalo.
Right.
And I don't know. I think the Buccaneers. This feels like a time where after they start getting going, that they're gonna lose. So I'm gonna team chaos the Browns. I'm not gun ho about it, like super passionate about it, like you are with your Lions pick. But
sure.
I'm still team chaosing the Starfish.
That's fair. Listen, I enjoy a nice meal, and I'm so excited on Thanksgiving, and I love that it's going to come with a side of Super Fucko. I'm guaranteeing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this matchup.
Love it.
I think the Buccaneers are getting back in shape here, and I do agree with you that the Starfish are playing better at home. It's so far and few between though. Still, you just get these weird they do get these weird
demolish the Bengals.
Yeah, but then at the same time they just fall apart against the Ravens. I don't know. It's just they got some weird things going on with them, and this is the last time we're gonna see this team without Deshaun Watson, and then we're gonna really hate fucking watching this team.
Yep.
So it's just maybe we should just give them one last hurrah here, but I'll go Buccaneers and guarantee it.
They don't deserve happiness.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination.
No. Cincinnati Bengals take on the Tennessee Titans. Bengals are likely getting Jamar Chase back, which is very significant. The Titans have been playing really solid football, and I feel like have figured their offense out. Treylon Burks is back, which me saying that reminds me that I need to move him into my lineups.
I'm glad that I can serve as that outlet to remind you. This is a virtual ball, boys.
Because he should be pretty good. Although I don't know against Cincinnati's defense. It's him or I'm playing him, Tyler Boyd, and Tyler Lockett, 2 of those 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But this is a good matchup. I like this matchup a lot.
Good game. Big
yeah.
time.
What do you think's gonna happen?
I think I want to give my flowers to the Titans, man. I think I picked against them on Thursday Night Football because I was scared. I saw what the Packers did. I was like, oh no, here we go. This is when the Packers are gonna come back. I'm very glad that they put the Titans, or that they put the Packers away. And I do think we disrespect this team a lot in terms of just that their defense plays so fucking well almost all the time, even when they have injuries, and then their offense is looking good. I do really like this team. I'm gonna pick the Titans in this matchup. I know that there's the chance that Jamar Chase comes back, and that is definitely something I had in mind when trying to pick this game. But I think the one thing that worries me about this Bengals team right now is that I don't think that their defense has played that great as of late. And I think, especially last week, was they gave up a lot of yards to the Steelers offense, which hasn't really been playing all that great. I just think the Titans are in a really good spot. I really like them here. They're my pick.
I almost just want to pick the Bengals to separate us a little bit just to catch up on points. It's that much of a coin flip for me. I love both teams. I think both teams are great. I wish both of them could win this game for their futures. I think I'll pick the Bengals. I think Jamar Chase is going to make a big difference, but I
Sure.
don't hate the Titans at all.
Yeah, fair enough. Next up is the Houston Texans at the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins are coming off of a bye, and just have been hot as of late. And the Texans have certainly not. In fact, I believe there's a quarterback change, maybe afoot in Houston. I don't think that's been confirmed, but they have been saying that they have not confirmed that Davis Mills will be starting on Sunday. That is something that is up in the air. I haven't really been paying much attention, if I'm being honest. What do you think is going to happen here?
I think the Dolphins are going to win because the Dolphins are the best team in football right now.
You know what? You might not be wrong. You might not be wrong in this moment.
Dolphins are winning football games. Tua and his wide receiver core, his receiving core, and his running backs are winning football games. The Dolphins are a really good team. Man. Jeff Wilson. I'm telling you, Jeff Wilson.
100%. I am also picking the Dolphins.
All right, this is I'm dreading watching this game.
Okay, yeah.
Because Bears Jets, Fields is dealing with a day-to-day shoulder injury, which sucked the life out of me at the end of that Falcons game. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god, it's sucky. I don't like it. And I believe in Mike White. I legitimately, meme of him being the same name as one of my favorite Survivor players aside, I do really think Mike White has these flashes of just, really good quarterbacking.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing that is, if Justin Fields, plays great, I think he'll have a shot, but the Jets have a really good defense. Yeah. I sent you the coin flip predictions, right?
I did. Why suddenly was this? Because it wasn't like you got the Jets game wrong on Sunday. You did pick the Patriots in that game. So I did. Did you just decide you know what, the Jets? I'm just gonna coin flip the rest of the way?
No, this is not mine.
Oh, okay. I thought it made it sound like it was yours.
Oh no! I found it was floating around the internet that this coin flip has gotten every single Jets game correct.
Oh,
so
shit.
far.
Okay, I completely misread that. All right.
Yeah. So this coin flip, someone flipped when the season started. They flipped a coin for the Jets wins and loss, and according to them, they will go 11-6 and lose in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
And it's been right so far. So the coin flip says the Jets are going to lose to Chicago.
Right.
Which makes me want to pick Chicago, and because I'm a Bears fan, but everything else screams New York Jets. So I'm going to pick the Jets, but it's I really want to pick the Bears.
I would want to pick the Bears too, but I think the injury to Justin Fields, whether he plays or not, I do think it's going to be significant. Especially with this Jets defense, which is playing out of their mind. Quinnen Williams needs to get more respect in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation. He is having a wild year, and I will never forget when I was when I actually covered Jets training camp his rookie year, and he ended up he ended up doing answering a question about playing Madden, and he said that he loved playing with himself.
I remember that, and you can hear your laugh in the clip.
Yes, you hear my laugh, and then the other thing that is my favorite Quinnen Williams thing is the fact that he one time during a draft interview he sneezed and he said "bless you" and "thank you."
Yeah, to himself.
To himself.
Yep.
And I'm just like, this man. Please protect this man at all costs. I'm going with the Jets. I feel pretty good about it. I understand though the want and the will of the Bears and wanting them to win.
Yep.
I get it. No, I get it for sure.
All right, next up is your turn, I think.
I think it's my turn.
Yeah,
because you started off.
I accidentally also revealed my pick.
Yeah, that's all right. The Atlanta Falcons at the Washington Commanders. Weird game. The Falcons are just. There's something, man. They lost Kyle Pitts for a while, and because he's on IR now, Commanders, they're winning. They're doing their thing, and they have a schedule that's allowing them to keep winning as well. What do you think's going to happen?
I think that the entire NFC East is going to make it to the playoffs this year.
Okay.
The Washington Commanders are going to win this football game.
Are you still of the belief that it's going to be the whole AFC East as well?
Yeah.
So you're just saying it's all East.
It's going to be all East all the time. East Coast, Beast Coast.
There you go. I'm with you. I'm going. I'm going. I'm going Washington Commanders.
All right. Denver Broncos, Carolina Panthers, Super Bowl rematch. Always fun when that happens. The Broncos have ridden into the fucking sun and have burned alive. The Panthers can't do anything on offense. And are starting Sam Darnold. Who's going to win this game?
Sam Darnold. You know what? Fuck it. Sam Darnold's going to win. I fucking hate this Broncos team. I have just pure spite. I want to pick the Panthers here. Both defenses are good. Probably Broncos are better, but God, both offenses are just so poor. And I don't know. I just maybe a quarterback change is what the Panthers need to get just squeeze out another win, and they could probably do it with how poorly the Broncos play. I'll go Panthers.
I'm also going to go Panthers again, purely out of spite.
Yeah, just purely out of
spite for how much I fucking hate this team.
Yeah, just
fuck you, Nathaniel Hackett.
I also love how like the week before we were like, the Broncos making able to win, and now we're just like, no, fuck you, you lost to the Raiders, fuck you, go fuck yourself. Anyways, the next game is the Baltimore Ravens at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags are coming off of a bye, while the Ravens are coming off of that weird game against the Panthers. Interesting game, I guess. Like, I mean, if the Ravens continue to struggle, maybe there's a door open here for the Jaguars. But what do you think's going to happen?
I think that the again weird game against the Panthers. I think that the Ravens will be just fine.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm picking the Ravens, and I mean, look, I would love my Jaguars at least being interesting storyline to continue. I think this is the part where they start to just fall out of existence even further.
Yeah. Next up, Los Angeles Chargers take on the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals have a weird quarterback coach thing going on, like Colt McCoy's been starting the past couple games. They had to fire their one of their assistant coaches for an incident in Mexico.
Do you know what it was?
Oh, was it sexual harassment?
He's groping a woman.
Groping a woman. Great. Good. At least they fired him.
Granted, like I read the headline. I did not read further. I don't know. I'm guessing if it was a huge problem, that maybe it was not consensual, and that's a big problem. I don't know. It's just this is the whole situation. The Cardinals are just a fucking clown car.
Yeah, which is actually which I will save my pick until after you say yours.
Yeah, I'm picking the Chargers. I do think you saw on Sunday that at the very least, when you have a Keenan Allen back, Mike Williams back, you have receiver. I mean, they're still depleted, and on that front, on the wide receiver front, but you could see the sparks of what this Chargers teams could have been this entire time, and could have been a little bit more interesting. I still think that there's a good team deep down in there. I know they can blow this game against the Cardinals. It happens consistently with this team, but I do believe in the Chargers. I have no belief in this Cardinals team. I cannot stand them.
So you can veto this one, but I'm going to guarantee the Chargers.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I don't know. Why would I?
Just because the Cardinals are that horrible.
Oh, well, no, I think that's a fair guarantee.
Okay, cool. It's a 4.5 spread.
Right, and also it is the Chargers, and that is they do drop these kinds of games. Like, yeah, it's not out of the question. I will not veto it at all. You're
cool. Chargers guarantee.
Yeah, I like it. Next up is the Las Vegas Raiders at Seattle Seahawks. I mean, I look at the Seahawks and I think, man, you had such a hot streak and then you dropped one in Germany. Can you return to the U.S. And beat a Raiders team that should have not won that game against the Broncos, but man, they did, and now you're like, oh man, anything can happen now. What do you think's gonna happen?
I mean, the Germany loss makes sense. The Buccaneers are a good football team. I'm gonna pick the Seahawks in this one.
Yeah, I will go with the Seahawks. I hate these. I hate that we can't just have like. I wish that more teams could be like the Texans and just keep losing. You know, make this easier. Make this easier for us. But fucking Raiders have to stick around. God damn it,
Raiders. Josh McDaniels sucks. He's such a bad head coach.
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks as well.
Next up, the Los Angeles Rams take on the Kansas City Chiefs. 2 years ago would have been an enticing, juicy, salivating matchup. Not so anymore. What do you think is going to happen?
No, sorry. Jesus Christ. One of the worst title defenses I think we've ever seen. But hey, we'll get a new champion, and that's always, to me, more fun than anything else. So
yeah,
I will pick the Chiefs in this matchup.
I will also pick the Chiefs.
There you go. For some reason, when we say the Chiefs very quickly, it does sound like we're saying the cheese. And I would rather that be the team name. Exactly what I was about to say. I was like, I'd much rather that be the team name than what they currently have rolling out. Next up, New Orleans Saints at San Francisco 49ers. 49ers have been hot as of late. They were really good in Mexico, which, by the way, completely forgot to mention that was a Mexico matchup. I forgot that was a thing that was happening.
Yep.
So 49ers went down to Mexico and beat the shit out of the Cardinals. Saints did win against the Rams, but what's the chances here that they beat the 49ers here, Matt?
Not very high. So I've been a little bit weird with the 49ers this season, and they put all of those weird holdups to bed Monday night.
Yeah.
That is when you look at all of the shit that they did, that's what you want them to do all the time, and They don't do it all the time, and it's infuriating, but they will beat the Saints.
Yeah, I'm with you where play calling is definitely been a weird thing with the 49ers. It's just they do things that you think that they should do, they don't. But I think they'll right the ship, and they're my NFC pick right now. So I'm gonna ride with them no matter what until they lose, I guess. So yeah. 49ers.
All right, Sunday Night Football. Green Bay Packers, Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles coming off Eagles are kind of experiencing a little bit what the Steelers experienced a couple seasons ago.
Sure.
Where they started off super, super strong and then started dropping the ball over and over again.
Yep.
Is that going to continue against the Packers, who have also who have been the opposite of that, where they're really bad and then sometimes play well?
I don't think so. I think that this is a very solid game for the Eagles, that they're going to win this game. It's just one of those things where just everything around the Packers irritates me. And I always just think about, I don't know if he's done it lately, but I just think about how Rodgers wants to deal blame to everyone else. And then he kind of goes out and just performs like shit, and then he doesn't take accountability.
Yeah. Doesn't take accountability for your own problems.
Right.
Do something about it, other green team.
Right. I yeah, the two green teams. The 2 out of 3, I guess. I definitely think that the Packers have a chance. The Eagles have been floundering a bit, but when you see Jalen Hurts play the way he did on Sunday, it's just kind of nah. I think the Eagles are going to be just fine.
I want to hope so. I'm going to pick the Eagles just out of necessity, I guess.
Sure. Emotional necessity, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand that. And finally, the Monday Night Football matchup, the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Indianapolis Colts. Weird game. Weird game. I don't know. Even now, I'm just kind of looking at this matchup, and I'm like, I don't know where I land on this game. The Colts are playing good football, somewhat. Despite having Jeff Saturday as your head coach, who had no experience prior, and he's kind of just proving people somewhat wrong. Steelers, the defense has gotten kind of better, but then it looks not as good against the Bengals. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that Jeff Saturday is doing not a bad job. I'm gonna pick the Colts here just because I don't like the Steelers that much.
It's so weird because I also picked the Colts, and I'm I've been saying that I think the Steelers could go on a run, not on like a playoff run, but just start rattling off some wins to kind of get the usual winning season. Tomlin has a winning season, right?
Yeah. Oh, they got to win like almost all of the rest of their games.
Yeah,
to do that.
It's not looking great right now. I think the Steelers could win this game, but I think for once, just for my own sake, I want to believe in the flying Jeff Saturdays, and so I'll go with the Colts.
Alrighty. So is it only our chaoses that we disagreed, or was there one more?
There was the chaoses, which also included me guaranteeing the Buccaneers.
Right.
And then the Bengals-Titans matchup.
Yep.
I believe that's it. I picked the Dolphins, Jets, Commanders, Panthers, Ravens, Chargers, Seahawks, Chiefs, 49ers, Eagles, Colts. I think that's exactly lines up with you, right?
Yeah. Oh, we've Bengals-Titans we deferred.
That's what I mean. That's what I was referring to earlier.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So.
By the way, Justin Fields' injury is a separated shoulder with a partially torn ligaments.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no way he's playing, or at least not at 100%.
They shouldn't play him. I mean, just. I mean, I understand that. Like it. Trust me, I've been higher on the Bears than maybe I should have this season. But like, at this point, you're 3-8. You're a loss away from being like guaranteed a below 500 record. Just wrap him up. Just keep him safe. Don't make him get hurt even more.
Exactly.
But there you go. So, folks, that is it for today's episode. Next week, on top of making yet another VBBFL team, we are gonna resurrect some teams. Maybe. We'll see. We're gonna look at our list of teams that we currently have slated as we think these teams are dead, and we might resurrect some, and then we're gonna bury some teams in their place. So that's the plan for next week's episode. We'll be back with a Week 12 recap and the Week 13 picks. It's December football, baby. We're almost there. We're almost in December football. Anyway,
almost there.
This is Thanksgiving, of course. Yes, everyone, please have a happy Thanksgiving, or if you're not in the U.S., just have a great rest of your week, and we will see you next week.
Good night, and good turkey. Virtual Ball Boys has been brought to you by Team Chaos Productions. Find us on Twitter at Virtual Ball Boys, and find more of our work at Team Chaos Pods.